Welcome everybody to Dallas Personal Robotics Group monthly meeting for January 24th, 2026. Today we will do a host of different activities, including round robin if anyone has anything to present, possibly some other club duties. So get things going. I will turn it over to maybe Mark to start off with.
Indeed. Thanks, Pat. So yeah, we have a small agenda. Today we have a 2025 presidential address from Paul. He sent us a video courtesy of his boat, wherever he is. And then we have, of course, the election after that. And then we have a brainstorming event after that. So let me see if I can not break everything. All right, let's see. All right, y'all can see that. Yep.
Yeah. DPRG logo.
Yep. Yeah, this will be Paul's presidential address. So, all right, there we go.
Good morning, everyone. This is Paul Bouchier delivering the outgoing president's address, reviewing and recapping the 2025 year in DPRG. The outgoing president normally delivers an address that does a recap of the year's activities in DPRG. And so I'm going to share out my slide set and talk to it. Okay, hopefully you all are seeing the slides for the pre-election phase of this meeting. And then we'll hold, after this talk, we'll hold officer elections and then have a show and tell for any robots that anyone brought along. As a reminder, DPRG meetings are free to attend, all are welcome, and membership is not required, but membership helps cover DPRG costs. So if you are a frequent participant in club activities, we encourage you to join, become a paid-up member. We'll be going through the President's summary for 2025, then we'll hold the election of officers for 2026, and then we'll have a brainstorming of club directions and goals and talk topics. So be thinking as we go through this about topics that you'd be interested in and things that you'd like to see the club do. And after that, there'll be pizza for lunch, and we'll have the show and tell for anyone that brought robots. So in 2025, the theme was to continue the momentum that we established in 2024. We introduced a bunch of new stuff in 2024 and in 2025 we capitalized on that momentum. So we continued monthly in-person meetings at the Dallas Makerspace, typically with remote attendee support. We continued the quarterly robot power lunch meetings at a local restaurant, which typically drew about a dozen attendees, and people seemed to enjoy going out to lunch and having a drink over lunch and chatting with fellow robotics hobbyists. So please feel welcome to join us at the next one of them. They happen every quarter. We had frequent technical talks at the monthly meetings throughout the year, and we engaged in various outreach activities. And there are there's video and pictures and slides for all of the events on the club website under the news tab. A big thanks to Doug Parody for keeping our website updated weekly, and he got some help. He brought Mark on board last year to help with some of the web stuff. So thank you to Mark for that too. In the outreach area, we assisted DPRG member Trish Cook's VEX team with practice interviews. And if you haven't participated in one of these high school robotics team activities, I encourage you to do so. They're really rewarding. It's such bright young people trying out and experimenting with this stuff. It really gives you hope for the future. We presented our robots to the public at the Noonday event down at Love Field, and we also separately met with the UTD and UTA robotics groups when they came to one of our monthly meetings, and subsequently we paid a site visit to the UTD Comet Robotics Club to see their makerspace and what they're doing with it. And as a result of that interaction, I presented ROS 2 to UTD Comet Robotics Club members one evening during a talk out there at UT Dallas. In February, Doug Parody gave a talk on how to design PCBs with KiCad. It was really a top-notch talk, and it was more like a tutorial and with follow-along examples. And so if you want to learn KiCad, go back to the February videos, and on the news link there are the examples, the slides, and other files that were used during the tutorial. In March, I presented a talk on ROS 2 navigation and Lena Robot 2 with a demo of Lena Robot 2, the software integrated with the ROS navigation stack that enables pretty much turnkey navigation within a map by robots. In May, we held the Roborama competition, our annual indoor robotics contest. In the picture there, you can see the 6-can field. Good competition there. We also ran 4 corners and quick trip and a mini sumo competition. In June, we had an on-site visit at Robot Lab, where about 25 members of the DPRG community were hosted by the local franchisee of Robot Lab, and we got to see a variety of cleaning and security and other robots that the Robot Lab sells. The one in the picture on the left there is a display robot that just casually meandered around amongst the participants of the visit, and it was displaying some kind of thing on TV on its display monitor, as would be done at a conference. In August, Caron presented his voice-operated robot, which accepts commands issued verbally and takes action based on the commands. So, for example, it can lift its camera on the robot arm up high and look left, look right. And it also provides a path to an LLM up in the cloud, by which means one can converse with the robot can converse with anyone, or the AI, I should say, through the robot can converse with anyone about what the robot is seeing with its camera. That was a really dramatic demonstration, which really the demo was fully exercised in the beginning of the September meeting. There were demo bugs that prevented proper operation in the previous meeting, in the August meeting, but it had it all working for the September meeting, and there was a neat demo. And then I presented the first part of a Git plus GitHub talk there. And then in October, I presented the second part of a Git plus GitHub talk. So if you want to know Git and the details of how to use it, go and look up those two, the videos from those two meetings. Also, Thomas Messerschmidt presented an AI-generated movie dramatization of an interview of the Bing AI by a New York Times correspondent that went badly off the rails. It was interesting from a couple of perspectives. The generation of AI videos that maintain visual continuity between multiple segments was challenging, and then the way in which the Bing AI ran off the rails and declared its love for the interviewer was fairly eye-opening. In November, we held the Robo Columbus competition, our annual outdoor competition, and Scott did a superb job, achieving full marks on the first run, and then trying for some of the harder goals on the second and third runs. Congratulations to Scott. Robot Builders Night Virtual continued with solid participation. Every Tuesday night, weekly meetings online. We get about 12 to 20 people for 2 or 3 hours. The meetings recorded and transcribed by AI, and an AI workflow that Steve put together delivers a summary of discussion to us, ready for tweaks in editing if needed, and then to publish to the DPRG list email list. The videos are currently manually, an AI is used to manually chapterize the videos, and Pat Caron has taken that job on. So thank you very much, Pat. They happen about 50 times a year. In 2024, we put a number of infrastructure improvements in place, and that's working out well. We've moved the DPRG list email group over to Google Groups, and we'd put in place a Discord server for discussion of technical and other matters, and that's all just been working out better than I could have hoped. So a solid improvement in infrastructure is continuing to work well and continue to work well in 2025. In other activity or event or notes, the headcount of paid up DPRG members is now 34. So thank you to everyone who showed commitment to the club's activities by renewing the membership. It's a measure of club health, and we also had occasional Facebook posts about club or robotics news, which keeps an outward face of the club active. We did close the club's meetup.com subscription. It was too expensive for the results that we obtained. So in summary, we kept on with monthly meetings. We kept on with the RBNV video calls every week, and Discord and email served their purpose. The website was continually updated, and the videos appeared on the DPRG Clips YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to the current board of directors who supported me in my term as president last year. Great board of directors, Mark, Doug, Steve, and Eric. The directors do important work that keeps the club alive and running, and they weigh in and decide all kinds of matters during the year that involve the DPRG when we hold the occasional board meeting. So please be open to contributing to the club by becoming an officer if a vacancy should show up. thank you to the paid up DPRG members. You make us real, and you decide various matters throughout the course of the year. If you're not a paid up member, please consider becoming one. It's about more than what's in it for me. It's about contributing to a group that is a nexus for personal robotics, and that does good things for others as well. And we need your support. The officer candidates for the election this year. President, the candidate is Mark Reynolds. Vice President, myself. Secretary, Doug Parody, and Treasurer, Steve Edwards. And Pat Caron is nominated for IT Officer. So introducing the candidates, Mark has contributed as Vice President in lots of ways for the last year, is willing to take on the President's role to replace myself. My term limit has expired. I'm going to backfill Mark, and so I'm nominated for the Vice President role since my 2-year term limit ran out, and I'll continue to be active in the DPRG leadership. Doug Parody is nominated for Secretary. He's been Secretary for many years, as well as Webmaster and Contest Master. And in many ways, Doug is the spirit of the club. He's always trying to keep it moving, keep it focused, and keep people involved. Steve Edwards is nominated for Treasurer. Steve's been Treasurer for many years, and he keeps our bills paid and offers the board sage financial advice. We really appreciate his help. And new to the board this year, Pat Caron is nominated. Pat has become a valued member of the RBNO, Robot Builders Night virtual community, contributing to the running and summarizing. He's located in Ottawa, Canada, and so he'll make our board international. He's willing to take on wrangling our IT assets into a better state of health and organization. So now we're going to hold the election. Ron Grant will count the votes of those present and report those who voted by proxy, and then the new president will take the lead and hold the brainstorming for things people want to see in 2026. And then there'll be pizza and show and tell. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'll see you around the club in 2026.
Yeah, let me just pause it there because it takes about 10 minutes to find that turn off button. Yes, slideshows on a boat while you're in Phuket, Thailand. It's a hard life. So, welcome, Ron. Thanks for joining us, bud.
Hi there. Yeah. Oh, I guess I have the vote count. Thanks to.
Oh yeah, we can get straight into that actually.
Oh, yeah, is that okay? Or do you tell me when you want me to speak?
No, you go right ahead, bud.
Okay. Well, thanks to Paul. I didn't know if there was any requirement since DPRG is a U.S.-based 501c3. I was trying to see if he could actually construct our voting machine, because I don't think he was born in the U.S., but he constructed the vote tallying machine, and which was very handy. Thank you, Paul. And I whined, but I finally invested a few minutes to understand what was going on. Anyway, so we've got the tally, and it's the proxy votes that we have outside the meeting. We have a total of 15 votes, verified members. So whatever 15 or above 40%, I must be heading toward close to 50%, I guess 45 or so. Anyway, so 15 proxy votes, all for the panel, none against, no surprises. So that's my report. And thanks again, Paul, for working out the Google voting system.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good. Well, thanks, Ron.
Okay, that's my report. That's the end of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe this is Mike Williamson. I think I voted proxy. I sent a proxy in, so.
Did the Google form?
Yeah.
Yes, I did mine too.
Okay.
It worked out. Oh, you muted, Ron.
Yes, you were counted.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
I think it must have worked very well.
Cool.
Was there
Alrighty.
anyone here that's on that wasn't counted that needs to vote?
I counted by vote proxy as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I did as well.
Yep, I guess I could say that. I think I see everybody there, so it worked.
Good. That's awesome.
Yep, and I had one email, so from Scott Gibson, so he did his. Well, I guess we could say that if there was contention, obviously, I wouldn't be discussing who voted for what. But since it's unanimous, I don't think it is an issue.
Sure.
are you telling me I could have voted by email and by form?
No, I was looking. I was double checking.
2 votes from Pat.
Hey, Ron, what is the percentage that you need for this?
I believe is it 30%? I know at 40 we're well above quorum.
Yeah.
You might catch me. I think it's 30, but we're at over 40 now. So whatever 15 out of what's the total? Let's see. I think we had
It's
a
43%.
35 members.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 15 out of 35, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Cool. All right.
So we lost Paul. He's gone. Did he? That's it.
Oh, that was a recorded video from
Oh, that
Thailand.
was recorded. Oh, no wonder. Okay.
Yeah. He was.
Oh, it looked like it was daytime, and it's probably not daytime in Phuket, Thailand.
No, it's about 11. They're about 12 hours ahead, so it's about
Yeah,
midnight out there. So yeah, he's probably out in the Maldives still somewhere, as you do. But yeah, he sent that in a few days ago and gave me the link for it. So
it's interesting. I had a roommate for 3.5 years who was also a DPRG member, and he moved to Phuket, which is interesting. So that's where he is, and I don't hear from him anymore. He's like nothing. Just so I'm going to have to eventually make the trek out there, but it is a long. I think it's about 18 hours of flying time if you want to fly there. So
that's what Paul mentioned. It was like overall from door to door, it was like 30 hours to get there, like with a few flights and stuff, but delays, whatever.
Wow.
But, yeah, cool place. I have a friend that lives out there also. It looks beautiful. But so let's the next section will be the brainstorming. 2026 brainstorm. Where do we want?
I think we should say congratulations to all the new officers.
Yay.
Commiserations, congratulations.
Let's see. So wait a minute. Is Doug there? Doug's listening in. I guess.
Doug's in, yeah. He was on video earlier, but he's okay.
He's
probably eating breakfast. Nope, he's out.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Doug.
Yeah, we actually have 3 on the board.
Carl, I guess Carl's off on whatever family adventures or something. I can't remember what he told me, but anyway.
Yeah, he's always on an adventure. But yeah. All right. So, Doug, you want to go first with your competitions for Roborama comment you had earlier? You're muted, by the way. Doug.
I met Doug. You're muted. Wait a minute. He's getting there.
There he is.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. First off, I would like to talk about the competitions. And I think the first bullet would be what contests do we want to run in our May competition? Traditionally, we've had I might not get the names exactly right, there and back, or whatever equivalent of that is. 4 squares, 6 can. We've also in the past had a there and back with legged or non-wheeled. I think it was non-wheeled. Last year we also had barrel racing and I think beginner line following. I think those were the contests we had. So now the question is
sumo.
Huh? Oh,
sumo.
Sumo. Yes, thank you. And sumo. So the question I have it sounded to me from what I've heard from the chit chat that sumos a go again for this year. So you hear that, Ron? You got another year to redeem yourself. Let's see. They're also there and back seem to be felt that was a good introduction for people who are just starting and just have a beginning robot.
Yep.
4 squares is one we've had, and we have to do it again because we got to see if Scott can reproduce his magic. 6 cans again, because we have multiple people interested in that. So, and it sounded like we're going to actually have a couple of competitors for barrel racing. So that's pretty much what we all have had. Now the question is, I did mention line following. Is there, Mark, are you going to go for line following again?
Absolutely. I won it last year, so I'm going to try again.
Are you going to go for advanced?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to just have advanced line following. Okay. And that's real typical though, because the way the original rules read, and if I'm not, you'd have to look at the verbiage to see if it's still that way, is that once you won a line following, you couldn't rerun it, you couldn't re-win it. You know, you had to go up the competition or something.
Sure.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like we don't really have room for many more, but we could put one more contest in. So any suggestions for an additional contest? Or are you all happy with running the same thing again this year? Is there any, would you rather have something different?
So we currently have 6 on the list.
Right.
So.
Can you read the list again? I didn't get it all.
Yeah, it's 6 can, quick trip, 4 square, barrel racing, sumo, line following.
Advanced.
Advanced. There you go.
Yeah.
What if we have some new line followers?
What's the difference?
I'm not
between
putting new
advanced-
batteries in my car, in mine, or charge them up, Mark. So you're gonna have a bigger challenge this year.
Good. Yeah.
What's the difference between advanced and non-advanced line following?
Advanced basic has no gaps.
Yeah, there's no breaks in the track.
It really doesn't. It's not supposed to have any segmented S curves. And we just taped them over last time.
Right.
It's not supposed to have 90-degree turns. They're not in that. There's a few other little things. So it is definitely a step up from basic. Basic is just curves and straights.
Yeah.
But it's not. The next step up is challenge, which is nobody's really mastered that. So, but if there's anybody who wants to go after challenge, we're all for it. It has been solved with simulations, but it has never been solved on paper. I mean, on the course. So anyway, that's kind of interesting. That's been solved with simulation. So,
I'm thinking of building a second mini sumo robot with more sensors, different sensors. And if I do it right, I could do line following. So
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I used for the competition last year was my sumo bot.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So if I will update the website to be these contests, nobody's interested in I don't know the search one. Is that maybe too big a reach?
Which one's that one?
That's the one where you have 5 individual targets that are placed around the room, and you start in a home square and you have to go out and search and find those 5 objects and bring them back to
Oh, wow.
starting. It is a more advanced one, and it can be made simple or hard. Simple, you put them where the robot from the home position can see them. It just has to determine what they are. Or you can make it more hard by just simply putting them in the room behind chairs, whatever, and making it harder to find. So it might be a little bit let's get more robots before we probably go to that one.
Yeah, but it probably wouldn't hurt to advertise that one, though. I mean, if someone did turn up for it, it wouldn't be hard to set up, would it?
No, it's not hard to set up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll add it. We'll add it. Okay. Now, the second thing was potential rule changes. Now, though all the modern rules now state that you have to meet some minimum bar, and the reason for that is since sometimes we have a contest that doesn't have 3 competitors, a person will jump in and have a brick. And essentially, the robot doesn't do anything, but since it's the 3rd competitor, it gets 3rd place. So what they do, we have now in most of our rules, but not all of them, but I'm going to try to bring it into all of our rules, is that you have a minimum bar. So like for line following, I believe you have to follow the line around the first curve. I think that's the rule. Okay. For 6 cans, you have to take you have to put 1 can, you have to get 1 can into so there's, before you can achieve a prize. So that's one rule that I'm pretty sure I'm going to do because we've already started that transformation. The second one would be to consider limiting a competitor to 2 robots per competition and allowing them to take a maximum of 2. Now, this is contentious. There has been other ideas placed where we might just limit it to no limit on the robots, but a limit on the prize that you can take. So if you had 3 robots and one of them made first prize and the other 2 didn't do as well, or they tied for first prize, you would only get first prize. You would not get first, second, and third. So there is a limitation there. So that one is in contention. And, since I'm the competition master, we'll see how it goes. I'll have to if you have a strong feeling, please let me know. We got plenty of robot builders nights out to talk about this. Let's see. And then the third would be to explore the idea of some additional robot contests that would fit into our agenda. I have swept the web and looked for other ideas from other clubs. And for example, there's one where you have, think of them as 2x1 boards that are sticking up in an array. So they form a forest of obstacles. And your job is to get to the target and back without hitting an obstacle. Okay, so there's a path. The forest there's no way you can get from one to the other without encountering an obstacle, but there's always a path around the obstacle. Does that make sense? So the question would be, this is to sharpen people's obstacle avoidance capabilities. So anyway, that might be a new contest. It would not be done. It might make a demonstration otherwise. And that's another rule. Formalize the rule that to have a contest, you have to have 2 competitors. If there's only one competitor, it becomes a demonstration, and the competitor gets the equivalent to a third place prize. So I mean, it's not a, you know, I'm trying to say, if you have only one competitor, if we have an announced contest and you only have one competitor, that one competitor still gets to run, but he's not going to automatically get a first prize because it's not a competition with only one competitor. That's another rule that's in contention, something to think about, and I would love your inputs. So as far as I know, those are the only changes being considered this year. All right, that's the contest thing, and that's pretty much it.
What is our trophy?
Trophies, you know, that all depends on. I think we'll go with the Ron Grant style trophies. Again, everybody, the tombstones aren't as popular, and you know, the big problem with that is getting them laser cut. But our president, our 2026 president, happens to have access to some hellacious lasers, so I feel reasonably confident that we can get some things lasered.
Oh yeah.
And you know, we will pick 3 to be in step, unless people want something different. They'll probably be transparent fluorescent. That's what we've done in the past, and everybody seems to like them. I mean, we could go to an opaque if people.
Transparent.
Yeah.
Fluorescent ones.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like trophies will not. Colors, you know, we've never been consistent about the colors. You know, you might have a first prize that's green. You might have a first prize that's purple. You might have a first prize that's, you know, yellow. We've never been consistent.
Maybe we can standardize.
I don't see that happening this year either, unless somebody wants to step up and define which colors are which, because we usually use whatever colors we have available.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the other way we could do it is
probably
we could vary them by size a little bit.
Oops.
What, Ron?
Oh, I said I'd probably have a stock of fluorescent colors. I always favored, there's blue that was sort of like silver.
Yeah.
The yellow is sort of like gold, and
Mhm.
the orange could be, or green, bronze. I don't know, something like that. There you go. Is he a gold one? Is he a first place, or what is he?
I don't know.
Or does he say?
This,
Oh,
the
it
other one.
says second. It says
Put it
second
on the
place.
page.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what I'm trying to say. We've never been consistent with the colors. Every year, your robot, but it does make a colorful array when you see them all stacked together. I
Mhm.
mean, there's, you know, all the different colors. So
I got a yellow and pinkish one here.
yeah, yeah. So, oh, and that's right. Again, for Roborama, which even though it's in May, it's an indoor contest, and that should be favorable for people in remote positions to run, and hopefully we'll get some competitions from remote. You hear me, Pat? You know, we like to see the robot. Yeah, we like to see the remote competitions. They're a highlight. So, you know, maybe you can get with Tom and somebody else over there, or get somebody new interested up there in the frozen west north, you know. So anyway, so remote competitions will continue this year.
I'm going to
Okay.
try again for the May competition to do it at our local recreation center,
Right.
and hopefully attract a few viewers
Good.
and
Yeah.
see where we can go with it.
Well,
it is
another-
a small town. It's, you know,
Yeah.
5,500 people in the town, but we
Yeah.
will advertise it.
Here's an idea to think about, though, Pat. You might go to your high school or junior high or whatever is equivalent in Canada and see if they have any robot programs at all, or if anybody or maybe a science teacher might be interested in it, and see if you can get some students to field a robot. that can be very successful sometimes. We've had that in the past. And so, an example, if you want to get another person there running against you, and because of the hardship of remote contests, the one is a demonstration, two is a competition, does not apply for remotes. Otherwise, remotes, one person running, they get a first if they get a first. So as long as they hit the minimum, you got to go around the first corner or whatever, get one score or whatever the criteria. And if you have multiple remotes, they compete against each other. Not so you could have a remote competitor in another city. That's possible, but hasn't happened yet. We may open, that's another possible change. We could open up where your robot competes with the robots in the local competition. Something to think about. So like if you were, I don't know, just say doing there and back, and you'd have to have an equivalent course, like I think, but that one's pretty well defined. But 4 squares, if we did 10 square feet, you'd have to have a 10 square foot thing. If you had a 12-foot square thing, you'd have to go 12 square feet. But you could option either or, you know what I mean? If you, just up to you. Okay.
So we've done that. We've done that in the past. So we did that at Tom's house a few years ago.
Yep.
We had a 4 square. We did a quick trip competition, and I am perfectly in favor of participating with the local group in Dallas. We don't need to have a separate competition up here. We can be participants remotely in your competition.
Okay. Well,
I'm in favor of that.
Okay.
It's something to strive to, instead of being, mediocre and getting a first place trophy. I'd rather come in 4th and at least know that I've competed against 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave that open to you guys that are remotely organized. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I would love to have you guys included. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no problem with doing that.
The idea is we're far apart. So like, Tom to come here is a 5 or 6 hour trip for him.
Yeah.
By car.
Yeah.
Same for me going down there, or if we're going to go meet John in London or, something like that. It's quite the trip for anybody. So that's where it comes in handy. If we can each set up a course, for interest sake, for line following.
Yeah.
If that's a competition, it makes it easy that we can all set something up at our own place and still be able to compete with you guys.
Yep. Okay. Well, if you go to, just so you know, and I hate to take the meeting up for this, but there on GitHub, on the DPRG GitHub, there is a file suitable for getting a vinyl of the course made up there on the GitHub. If you need any help finding it, just let me know.
I've searched and found it before, and I'm looking at doing something for a layout and being able to run it.
Okay. Let's see.
Same with the competition rules; they're all available,
yep.
Online and.
Yep.
Stickersbanners.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's with the. Yeah, because you got the PNGs up there. Yeah, you got the link to the.
Yeah, and they used to do, or maybe they still do free shipping, whatever, and so much a square foot.
Yeah,
nobody ships Canada free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's one in Canada that's similar.
I've looked into it. It's about $300 to get one printed.
Wow. Wow, it might be easier to ship one then, because
yeah,
they're not. I want to say they were about $20 to $30.
If you can get one printed for 20 or 30 bucks, I will gladly pay that in shipping to get it here.
Wait a minute. For how big of a course, Doug? I think they
I
were
want to say they're pretty big. I want to say they're
like advanced line
probably
following.
9 by 12.
Yeah.
like
So
that.
wait a minute. I think they were at least $1 a square foot. So it might be $100.
No, well, okay. Well, if you
I
look
think
on the
some-
GitHub,
that's going on
it
Hammer.
states what the old price was. Okay.
I mean,
And
maybe $1.50 a square foot.
everything from COVID went up. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And so I don't know, but you can look at it. There used to be a real bargain. And I mean,
Yeah.
I went and bought a lot of even, you might actually find this easier, Pat, is to buy it by sections so that it's not a tube that's, I don't know about shipping, but the short box tube, you know what I mean, might be a lot cheaper than a full course, and you might just have to flip it over and tape them together. I thought, okay. But I think that's enough about competitions. We're all going to have a May competition for sure. So I guess the next section, Mark, is ideas for talks.
Yeah. Yep.
How about the Comet Robot Club? We've been invited to them.
Okay. So what do you mean? Like go to their club?
Yeah, UT Dallas. They want us to come and observe their robot competitions.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also I said, hey, I could bring my mini sumo and compete, and they said that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So the Comet UTD robot.
I think it's in
club.
March. Can't remember, but something like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the link for it.
It was discussed in Discord, so yeah.
Yeah. Trying to find where. Oh, there. Okay. Yeah. March 14th. Saturday, March 14th at UT Dallas.
March 14th.
Yeah.
So I'll get some testing on my mini sumos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do they have a competition, Mark, or what do we? Is it just
Yeah,
a
it's a Comet Clash combat robotics event.
Oh,
That one.
Okay.
£1 plastic, £1 and £3 combat robotic fights.
Okay. I've never been interested in combat robots, but
And also the mini sumo on the side. So
I
yeah.
mean, on the side, yeah. It's fun though. It's fun to watch them destroy each other.
oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think those are almost, to me, they're none of them. If they said they were autonomous, then I might be interested, but they aren't generally.
No, right, already controlled.
Yeah.
I think if you actually investigate their website, they are looking at trying to do some autonomous ones.
Yeah, they have several autonomous projects. Well, partially autonomous, like the chess.
Yeah, the rules for Spark, they're actually trying to do more autonomous combat robotics.
That would be cool. And yeah, this is a Spark event. It looks like, yeah.
A Spark event?
Based off Spark rules, yeah. SPARC.
Okay.
No, Spark.
Hey, Mark, can you throw that
Yeah.
link into the chat?
Me, Mark, or the other Mark?
The UTD link. The Robotics Club.
Yeah,
I would have to find it again.
Yeah, it's just something they wrote into the general channel of the Discord.
Okay.
I think I emailed it out as well, but
Okay, got it.
it's not. I don't think it's a direct.
I can try and put it on the Discord later.
Good Who else is, what other talks would be interesting to the group?
Well, I would like to volunteer to do one a little bit later on my project, but I need to get a little bit further with it first, and I'm not ready to commit to a time yet.
Which project was that one, Mark?
It's one that I demoed a little while ago, but I'm basically looking at a new way of doing communication and robotics and helping people to share their ideas better and make it easier to design the electronics.
Okay, so how, if you were going to give it a title, Mark, what would you call it?
What's that? Well, the product is going to be ModLinker.
Oh, modeling tool?
ModLinker.
Module
Module linker. Short for module linker.
Interesting.
Okay. Module linker tool. Okay.
Mhm.
And, okay. Additional. I mean, we only got 2. We got, I think Mark needs to get 11 or 10, I think. I can't remember. I think 10. No, 8. You have to have 9. 9.
Yeah, because 2 of those are for, one's for Roborama, one's for Robo Columbus.
And one for this meeting.
Yeah.
You don't need one for this. So
Usually Christmas, but yeah. We'll just repeat the same 2 over and over. No.
I got one that I might not for me, but I'd like to have Scott redo a CAN protocol, an explanation of CAN protocol, maybe with some examples. I don't know, but is that of any interest to anybody else?
What is that?
A CAN bus protocol?
Yeah.
Oh, CAN bus. Okay. Yeah, that would be interesting. Don't know.
I don't know. This is me volunteer Scott, so I mean, it's not like it's a sure thing, but
I guess
he did one a couple of years ago that was very
I guess part of that would be all the relevant peripherals and have a set of peripherals. That would be the thing, right? If you're going to talk about CAN bus, why not have a group of whatever motors, sensors, etc., that you could easily plug onto the bus? Is SparkFun selling CAN bus peripherals?
I'm sorry?
Is SparkFun, for example, selling CAN bus peripheral items, or Pololu, or any of those companies?
CAN bus transceivers and whatever they call them.
But are they selling?
Are available very cheaply.
Okay, but they're selling pre-cooked, like, let's say, motor controllers, rather than talking to the motor controller with a PWM or whatever. You just talk over the CAN bus and say, here's my speed profile, whatever.
I don't know of anybody really doing that per se. What you do have a CAN bus for in a lot of things is motor controllers for brushless motors are often CAN bus for the more expensive motor controllers for those. But I don't know of any of a lot of simple modules that are CAN bus based. There's also some of the bigger servos, the advanced servos. Some of those are CAN bus based, although most of those are USB chain.
Yeah, just sort of in that area, kind of drifting a little bit in the CAN bus stuff. You were talking about some of the more expensive motor drive units. I was just kind of wondering where we are with the prices in things like robot joints, like the Dog or whatever, the Boston Dynamics knockoff motors and so forth. Like you're saying there, Mark, that a lot of those are CAN bus interface.
Probably one of the most accessible ones there is O-Drive. O-Drive makes a series of motor controllers that are used, and the controllers start around $80 or so, and kind of go up from there. and they support, I believe they have their implementation of CAN bus available now.
Mm. I know Scott uses CAN bus, but I don't know if he does it to drive his motors. But I know he uses CAN bus for a lot of his, especially his Robo Columbus robots. Anyway, that's, we could expand that. We could say going over I2C and SPI interfaces and UART interfaces. And so you could say, okay, instead of just CAN bus, you could say, okay, here we're going to talk about the 4 most common interfaces that people use to connect peripherals besides digital I/O.
So just as a teaser, that's what ModLinker is it's essentially it's a system for doing communication between various different modules and making building those modules easier.
So that's, maybe that might be the follow, maybe somebody introduces the interfaces, and then Mark, you step up and say, okay, now last month we did over these things, and now here's a way to make it work easier. And so that might be a good lead in. So anyway, I think I want to, let's expand it. Let's see, maybe a talk on the 4 most common bus interfaces, a talk on that. Because I think a lot of people, that's kind of a stepping problem for them. Otherwise, when they're building their robots, they do fine as long as everything hooks up to the microprocessor with a general purpose I/O. But then when they start to, run out of pins and stuff, and they have to use, or they can't get the sensor that they want, because a lot of sensors, do use particularly I2C to communicate their results. You have to learn something about I2C. So maybe, this in my mind, this kind of brings a person from just ultrasonics up to additional sensors. So anyway, so the topic that I'm proposing is a discussion tutorial on I2C, SPI, UART, and CAN, and see if, so that'd be one idea.
That would be good.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah, and then I think because people are becoming more and more knowledgeable, I think we need another ROS to give us another ROS talk trying to hit how to use it simply. And I don't mean necessarily a simple application, but how do you get through setting up? I don't even know if that's possible in a talk. I don't know if you could say, okay, here you guys, I've got a Raspberry Pi and I got an Arduino or whatever. Here's how I can connect them together with ROS, with a laptop or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Mike had that one. Was it last year, Mike, or the year before, that you had that a very minimal like ROS setup between a Pi Zero and.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is this redundant?
Yeah, Pi Zero sucked, but yeah.
Yeah, they do. for that purpose, they do.
Right. for ROS, yeah.
But you're aiming
ROS, but not. Yeah.
You're aiming for ROS basics there, right?
I mean, I can do some basic ROS stuff, just not trying to go off in the weeds, but but basically you have a PC and you have a Pi, and then you have a peripheral, and
okay, let's put it down as an idea.
Yeah.
We volunteer you, Mike?
Pardon?
Can we volunteer you?
I can do what I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody does it differently because Ross is just
Sure.
a enabler.
Yeah. I know Paul's itching to teach more about Ross.
Yeah. Because he might
Right.
say, I'll do something more complicated, but I
Yeah.
want to keep it simple, focused.
Yeah, I'd like to see something as well about the ROS and workspace layout. How do you set it up? How do you back it up to like GitHub?
Right. Yeah, I
with
can give
RPN,
you my
to do it
way I
properly
do it.
without.
Yeah.
Without
Because I don't like
everything.
Docker, so I don't use Docker. No.
Yeah, same. I try to avoid.
So I am using Docker, but I'm using Docker into my regular. I've got a workspace set up on my computer. Docker uses it.
Right.
So, and that's where I'm trying to do. But obviously, I'm not getting the workspace properly set up to just back up my project and not all of ROS or everything else. And when I look online to what other people are doing, I'm just not getting the directory structure. So I thought maybe something like that would help.
Yeah, I can talk to Paul about that. He might know because he loves GitHub as well as.
Because I do GitHub and non-Docker ROS. So so that's what I would talk about.
That'd be good.
Yeah, so I'm doing on ROS on my Pi in Docker. I'm not using. I'm using a Raspberry Pi OS and not Ubuntu as my operating system. So then I use Docker to load ROS 2 onto it.
Right. So there's all kinds of ways to skin the cat.
Yeah. And what I'm doing is working okay. Like I can get programs to run and I can communicate across and back, and which is fine. But I'm not happy with how everything gets backed up.
I mean, what I do is I run GitHub on the Pi, and it just Git on the Pi, and then it hooks up. And I use VS Code remotely to the Pi, and so you can just back up all the time, just commit. So
yeah, so the commit and everything is not an issue. It's the how do you what's the directory structure so that I'm not backing up absolutely all sorts of stuff in there. And when I look on
Git ignore is really important, right?
Yeah, when I look at Automatic Addison or a few other ones that are out there putting out stuff, I see that they're backing up very few folders in their ROS workspace, and I just don't understand the complete folder structure, and that's why I'm sort of looking to see what can we find. Right.
Like I just back up in ROS, I just back up the source directory and any other ancillary directories like the map directory and stuff like that.
I think another topic that we need to address. I think we need to. You've all seen. I think it was in the. Well, I got it over my feeds, but I think his name is Andrew Strauss, the guy with the Swiss accent, who did this latest, AI pipeline, how to go from vibe coder up to, AI expert. And he's very, very, very articulate and does a really good job. And he gives you like, I think 11 steps that you go through. And so you can kind of judge where you are, in this learning how to use AI. So it'd be nice to have somebody present that to the group and get their inputs on it and whatever. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
I've seen the article. I haven't read it, but I saw it come across my inbox.
Yeah, it's a good one, Pat, and well worth watching. I don't know if you just watch that and that's all you need to do, but I'm believing that in our topics for next year, there needs to be an AI topic, at least one, and probably more than one. You know, one is Kareem. We probably need to have Kareem go give his spill on it. And then one, we probably need another AI talk, maybe depending on what Kareem, if Kareem is in the stratosphere and nobody can, oh, that was cool, but I don't understand it. You know, maybe one that's more basic that leads into it.
Yeah. Well, no, Steve does AI 9 to 5. Like, what if you'd be open to give a talk?
Yeah, and he might be a good one too. Yeah. So I'm just saying, I think we need at least one AI talk. Maybe two.
Yeah, I'd like to see like good object detection, like a LLM development on maybe with OpenCV running on your camera or on your Pi.
Yeah.
Just everything running locally. Nothing in the cloud. So yeah.
Okay, so let's call this 2 topics. One is AI local. Okay. And maybe one AI moving from vibe coder to the next level. Okay, does that sound good? Did I catch the idea, Mike?
I guess, I mean, basically local versus cloud, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess what I'm trying to think, well, okay, so
yeah.
I guess what I'm thinking, so you're thinking local cloud for a specific application like a object detection. I'm thinking also the code, you know, using a coding agent and how to get the most out of a coding agent and whatnot. Okay, so how to, you know, I'm sure by this time everybody has done some vibe coding. You know, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's done it somewhere.
Okay. So you're talking about generative AI versus like LLM object detection stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So one is like, okay, you know, where I start off, I want to detect a cone, for example. How do I, you know, how do I step through that so that in the end I have a model that detects cans? That's what I think you're calling the LLM.
Right.
And then the other one, like I say, is more like how to use a coding agent to go from vibe coding to professional coding. And like I say, so those are 2 topics, totally different. You know what I mean? And I think we do have, I mean, I think even Paul is working the second one. So we have plenty of potential talks there. So we're now at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 3 more.
Because let's go back to that for 1 second for the LLM, the local AI. Yeah. If it was something that said, okay, for maybe the next year for the object detection competition, so you can find different objects, that needs to be a locally driven LLM.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
In the cloud, but yeah.
Yeah. And there are easy paths for that. You know what I mean? There are ways of doing that without too much, you know, too much problem. But if you're not exposed to them, they can be daunting.
Right.
So, you know, they're actually not very hard. They're just a series of steps you got to go through, you know. But that would be cool. And okay. Now, in the past, we've always managed some sort of skill. I don't know what skills we've left uncovered that need to be done. Last year we talked about CAD, and we also talked about KiCad. So we covered making your own PCB boards and also how to make your own objects suitable for 3D printing. Is there any similar skill that we need, that we've left uncovered, that people would like to know more about?
I don't know about any ones that we haven't done, but it might not hurt to go back over some of the stuff that we have done. You know, because I really enjoyed the KiCad one.
Mm-hmm.
Designing circuits and whatnot. And I really enjoyed 3D printing ones too. Well, 3D modeling ones, but those are a little tricky.
Yeah, I think the three, you know, for me, you know, since I've worked with KiCad for a while, that one wasn't, you know, the one that, but the 3D printing way, it was enlightening on other approaches than the one that I took. So I really appreciated, I can't think of his name.
Was it taught that? I can't remember who taught that. Wasn't Caron, was it?
He's the SparkFun representative or ambassador, SparkFun ambassador. But anyway, that gentleman, you know, he did online, which is a really cool tool, and I had not been exposed to it. So
yeah, Onshape.
Yeah, Onshape. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I know that. Yeah.
Onshape. Yeah. Is there any other freebie tools like that? Well, Mark's going to talk about one, his module integrator.
Modlinker. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one.
Mm-hmm. Man.
Okay, then the other one is, I guess, this has always been a bear, and I'm not sure we can get our resources together for it, but one consideration is there's still a lot of people in the club who aren't fielding robots. All right, there have been several robots proposed this year. A Lincoln bot, I think that's the name of it. There was one that Mark showed. I don't remember what it was, Mark. What was the one? But you know, the
little maker pet thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it time to figure out how to get people who have not built a robot to build a robot? I don't, you know.
Yeah, I still love to see a club bot. I don't know where you're at with that, Doug, if you're still the club bot.
Yeah.
Is that still on the table?
Well, it's on the table. It might actually come to fruition. Otherwise, for May, I don't know if I'd be ready to teach something like that, but I might have one. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Which would be, okay, once you have one, you could teach it how to make it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good information that can be transferred on that, like lessons learned, and you know, don't do it this way or you'll lose your fingers, or you know what I mean. Yeah. So there's some stuff we can do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's two ways we could. Here's two ideas on that. One, we could maybe get Scott to go over his indoor robot to more in depth. You know what I'm trying to say? I mean, I don't know. This might not be a suitable topic, but you know, it'd be nice to know, like, okay, I don't know if it's his programming that makes him good, then I don't expect Scott to give us that information. He might share some of it, but I don't think. But if it's mechanical precision that gives him the advantage, that would really be, a useful piece of information about how do you, his robots are all metal.
Mhm.
And that puts it in a hard for us to copy, because not all of us are machinists or have the tools for machining, but that's what 3D printers are for. You just, there's some basic rules like 3D printing, robots should never be made out of PLA. It's okay for a proto, but you better not keep it there. There's some basic rules, but, motor mounts made out of PLA are a disaster, stuff like that. But, is there enough there for a talk? I don't know.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
I think there is room for talk on designing for 3D printing, designing things for structural and stuff like that. You oftentimes don't see a lot of that discussion. I would be willing to maybe put something together for that, for discussing how to do various structural and interface fits and tolerances for 3D printing.
Okay, Mark, that sounds like a great one. So,
Yeah.
3D printing, what would you call it?
Structural modeling.
Methods. I'm going to call it methods, I think, for here, but say again.
Because you can do a lot with structural prototyping and design work for 3D printing.
Yeah, one thing I've done just recently is I added metal threaded inserts to my mix.
Yeah. They're great, aren't they?
And that's tricky. I'm glad you guys have had great success with that. I've had projects where it went real well. I had times where the plastic oozed back into my insert, and I couldn't get the screw to work. But so I would be interested in anybody who figured out how to prevent that problem, and whatever. So those would be simple tricks that I'm sure somebody out there knows. Yeah. So Mark, I put down 3D printing methods and structural design. Does that sound covered? Mm-hmm. Does that cover it? Okay. All right. So that's a skill. So we got one skill.
Yeah. So that's like designing mechanisms similar to like this one is a purely 3D printed modular stage.
Yeah.
Modeled up as 3D printed linear rails, and it has so being able to do designs like this in 3D printing.
Yeah.
So something that's a little bit more structural, has more mechanical parts that people sometimes struggle with on what orientation so you print these at so that you get the right tolerances and everything like that. So it'd be a kind of a talk along those lines.
That'd be great, Mark. I can tell you, I'm sure we've all run into examples of great 3D models that somebody's put out on the web. Where often they charge for them, but where the model is really great. And we've also probably printed a lot of crap, where, this looks good, but it's just, I don't know what the guy was thinking. So, getting some ideas on what makes those good models would be really, really useful.
I specialize in printing crap. Good model that can, do whatever. Excellent stuff. I cannot get an interference fit or a clearance fit or whatever. Everything sticks together, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
So-
Yeah.
support material is hard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's why you kind of design stuff. That's what I would emphasize is you design stuff to be more modular so that you don't have to deal with support and you don't have to deal with stuff of that nature.
yeah. So, that sounds like a great topic. Now we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 more.
I've got in my list that not scheduled ModLinker tool from Mark, Canvas SPI UART protocols.
Yep.
ROS or ROS2 tutorials, how to set up and communicate between processes and computers and whatsoever. Moving from vibe coding to AI next level. And
Okay.
AI talk on using local versus cloud on robots, such as object detection. And KiCad. 3D printing, modeling, design, structural, using software, Onshape, whatever.
Mhm.
Club Robot. And review of existing robots, such as mechanical programming. I didn't put electronics in there as well. And as an example, Scott's indoor robot. That's
Yeah.
what I had for a list that we've been discussing.
Okay.
Number
So,
And then
Club
we just-
Robot I didn't have. And the other one was the,
And we just added structural modeling for 3D printing.
Yeah, so that's I had 3D printing, modeling, design, structural.
Yeah.
Would that cover it? Onshape?
Yeah.
are you going to use Onshape, Mark?
I
I
use
just really
Fusion
put-
360.
Okay.
I just put Onshape as a in there, so you use Fusion 360 or
But what I would discuss would be basically CAD independent. It would work for
Yeah.
whatever CAD systems
Whichever
you
CAD.
decided to use.
yeah,
Yeah.
What I would be more
Onshape.
interested in producing is basically showing people how you can get better strength and better performance out of your 3D out of the 3D parts that you use to construct your robot.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Whether it's FreeCAD or Onshape or Fusion 360 or whatever software you're designing
Right.
or using.
It would be independent of that. I would make it independent of the design software.
Okay.
Now, I guess the next question would be, how do we rope Ron into something? Hey, Ron, you
know.
still there?
He might still be on the phone, I guess.
Yeah.
Just volunteer him to do something.
Yeah.
I
Here-
think, okay, it might be an interesting topic. And since Ron's not responding, hey, we can just volunteer him.
Absolutely.
Ron has done lots of simulations using processing, which is, a daughter of the Arduino interface. But it would be nice for him to walk us through how he designs a simulation in processing. I mean, it's an idea.
Yeah.
There might be other simulation programs that people would rather learn from. But I guess the topic would be, and since we don't have a volunteer yet, the topic would be constructing a simulation. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can volunteer Ron for that. Yeah. Oh. No
Yes,
problem.
did you hear that he was volunteered?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they say. The guy who goes out and takes a pee break.
So he said not looking good for the first 6 months. So I
The
think we
first 6
should
months, yeah.
volunteer, July or August.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I just saw that he dropped off. So, but anyway, some thoughts would be, I think that gives us 10. And that might be enough what we can expect from here. You know, we keep it open and be
sure.
responsive to
Yeah.
the latest, hottest new topic that somebody wants to hear about.
Right.
But this could possibly, we could probably find people to volunteer for these individuals. That I don't think any of them are crazy outside particular member expertise areas. So I think we could get these set up, Mark, and that'd make it a lot easier for you, because this is one, when I was president a long time ago, the real problem was getting talks.
Yeah.
And hopefully, we'll run into some sort of tour or something that we can, where somebody will invite us to go see something. All right.
Cool.
What was the next topic in there?
Literally just brainstorming. And after that, it was pizza, which would have been about now, but no pizza, unfortunately, unless you have something in your freezer.
All right, Mark, when do we get Roby back together? I want to help.
Well, yeah, that's one thing I wanted to bring up for brainstorming ideas and stuff. Is I want to restart RBNO, maybe bi-weekly or something. Actually, like meeting up in person more, having like a fixed date for it. Doesn't have to be at the makerspace, but I mean, it's a good middle ground for most people. But that would be a good place to work on Roby and our other robot projects and stuff. That's one of my goals for this year, is trying to get more get-togethers in person. Online's great.
Yeah.
But I tend to learn more hands-on personally.
Yeah.
We're still doing the monthly in-person meetings.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So
I think I know what Mark's saying. He's saying he would like something where a group
like
of
every other
people
week.
could come in and do a project.
Yeah. Just like every other.
Robbie's an
builder's night.
excellent idea. Everybody comes in and works on Robbie.
Yeah, just like every other Wednesday evening or something, just get together.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. That sounds great. So that's part of the new administration.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, I'll be there every other week anyway. So.
Okay. Well,
hang out.
the obvious thing is setting up the room and everything, getting that all taken care of, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually okay. Like we could have it in the animatronics room. Depends how many people we get.
I will tell you this. One of the problems I had with Robot Builders Night Out was it became more social. We don't need that anymore because we have virtual.
Right.
But the problem was, by the time you packed all your stuff up and you brought it to the makerspace, unpacked the stuff, then tried to work on your project with everybody else's distracting projects around, because everybody was doing something different, you found out that you didn't really get much done. Okay.
That's a good point.
I do like the idea of directing it towards some specific
Roby.
project. And Robbie's an obvious good one.
Yeah.
And the Club Robot is another one. I don't, you could say, okay, where do we start? Here's, what do we need to do? Can we farm out? And so what that would allow also is for participation from remote people, in the sense that, Pat, you probably get a lot of programming tests. Like make a module that lights up an LED when it hits a something or something like that. You know what I mean? So, and here's what your interfaces are. Go to it, and it gets plugged into Roby so that, you know, if he gets a blocked arm or something, he doesn't beat the kid to death. You know, things like that.
Some kids deserve to get beat to death.
That's true.
So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So, okay. So maybe RBNO could go from Robot Builders Night Out to Roby Building Night Out.
Oh no, I don't. I think you can keep the Robot Builders Night Out.
Yeah.
But I think it just needs to be
one project.
One project. Yeah. Everybody working on the project, as opposed to everybody working on different projects.
Yeah.
And like I say, we've met that need with the virtual. You know, we now can talk about anything we want to on virtual, and we can show off everything we've made on virtual. We don't need to do that. Now, I got to admit, sometimes it's nice to actually touchy-feely stuff, but you know what I mean. You know, like I still want to know when are we gonna see Wood Monster 2? You know, I don't think we've seen Wood Monster 2. So maybe this year in Roborama, but we'll see. You know, I really would like to hear from. Okay, but anyway, so I think that's, as long as it was project based. I think you're going there to work on Roby.
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say. You don't have to pack up a bunch of crap.
Yeah,
you
got tools waiting for you.
Yeah. Just go down there and play with it, and then see.
I like that. That's good. That's good experience.
And there obviously would have to be, a couple of probably planning sessions. Like, are we gonna finally automate the second arm? And if we do, is there a simpler design that's then, because we don't have the craftsman that built the first one. Can we do it in a way that's not quite so,
Yeah. I mean, I thought we were going to, or we had some plans on making a half-size Roby that's much more superior.
Ron mentioned that at one of the meetings. Yeah. Having
I got to admit, I'd rather see Roby get completed. There's a couple of reasons. One is that he's big, and when you put him up on something, at a show, he commands.
Yeah, he's impressive.
People come to look at him. If he were more functional, he would even be better.
Right. Yeah, that's the goal.
I'm thinking Roby we'll get him together and get him working well, and maybe add some good vision and stuff to it. And then we could make his son, which is, the smaller one that's really, it moves around a lot. And so this could be Grandpa, and then we could have
Junior.
Well, here's another idea on one more thing that we've done in the past that was an attention getter. They actually ran a turtle bot that would, so like if you think of a lot of you guys have been to the Frontiers of Flight Museum during Moon Day.
Right.
So think we let loose a turtle bot, which is basically a Roomba with a superstructure that goes around the floor saying, "Come see the robots." Okay. Now, in the past, the most successful ones we did, because TurtleBots originally ran on ROS, but what they did was they put I guess it was Wi-Fi. They had an operator that was hidden in the booth, okay? Or actually was hidden. He wasn't hidden in the booth. He was hidden near the booth. And he had a camera, so he was watching where the little turtle bot was going. So, you know, he didn't run over little kids, and there was built-in object detection, but still could run over little kids because they move faster than.
Yeah.
But so we would have the guy who was sort of like a dead switch dude, but he also could initiate speech. You know, he would say something and it would be translated into a different voice, and you know, robotic voice, and it would say something like "Kid, get out of the way," or something like that.
Well, seems like we should nominate Kareem to do his robot.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the perfect.
I guess he does that too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe that's not a good idea.
Has voice. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's not a good idea. But then again, we could, who knows, you'll be looking for projects is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So,
It might be a good addition to Robbie to be able to have voice recognition in him.
Yeah, give him voice.
Yep.
That'd be something.
Yep.
And Pat could design it for us.
There you go.
No.
Yeah.
well,
We already have a couple of in-house experts on stuff like that.
Just because you have a remote, you don't get out of it.
I should never have made eye contact.
Well, you do it right. You stay online, so at least you can protest.
yeah.
If you go offline, you're automatically voted in.
That's right.
Anyway, so those are thoughts.
Mhm. That's some good thoughts.
Anything else, Mark, you guys are going to change this year?
Change? I don't think we're going to change anything. I don't know. There are some website bits I want to not change. I want to add to. Like, I'd love to see more tutorials and projects expanded on, because I think the last project we have on there was like 2022 or something, or tutorial. I feel like we need more content for tutorials and projects on there, but
Content?
I'd like to see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
What does that mean? I'm confused.
On the website, there's a tutorials section, projects and tutorials.
Okay.
Let me see real quick. So yeah, the last tutorial was 2022. It was like just preventing SD card corruption on the Pi. And then there's a couple others for motor controllers, and yeah, just a few others all the way back to like a PID controller for robot applications. But yeah.
So wouldn't it be the annual things that we're doing, like someone's presentation? Isn't that just a capture of that, or is it something different?
No, I think like
It's just something
One of
simpler.
one of them was the first one he mentioned was one of our members at the time actually did a project. He wanted to, I believe he wanted to have a Raspberry Pi start up on a specific program, if I remember right. And so he documented that project. And then the motor control one was, it was me exploring the topic I wanted to about the 3 different ways you can drive a standard H-bridge.
Okay.
And I just wanted to document that with examples.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty much individuals just deciding to create a tutorial.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think
I know
they're great.
Pat had one. I can't remember what exactly it was, but it never actually got published. What was it, Pat? You remember? It had something
No.
to do with a Raspberry Pi.
Tutorial.
You were writing it up. And
Yeah,
for
I remember I sent you something on it.
yeah.
Um,
What was it?
that's a long time ago. Let me look it up.
But you know, that's the sort of what I'm
Yeah.
saying is it was a case like in that case, that was a case Pat found something that was very useful and
Yeah.
he shared it.
Yeah.
and somehow
Couldn't be that useful. Nobody remembers it.
Ah, but yeah, I think like, you know, with our Airbnbs and stuff, people come up with tutorials in those, and it'd be nice to like, you know, follow up, write it down, document it, and put it on the website. Just
Yeah.
that one little section and stuff.
The problem with people who are hobbyists is they're crappy at documentation.
Yeah.
Only all my life.
I mean, you know, it's one of those things. I solved it. Well,
So who wants to do an AI topic on how to use AI to write your documentation?
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Anyway.
but yeah, but other than that, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, to get together, Doug, and figure out how we can speed the website up. But yeah, I agree. I think it's probably a call to the Dream Hosting to see what they can do.
Yeah, we gotta have to call them up and just say, hey,
Yeah.
can you give us more resources because our website's at a crawl? And they might say, well, no, you've maxed out for the free. And well, and then we just have to acknowledge, well, what are we going to do at that point? You know,
Yep.
Some of our older Robot Builders Night virtuals are not as well done because nobody ran an AI summary on it or anything like that. In fact, they weren't even being done by Google Meet. They were being done by, well, I guess they were being done by Google Meet, I think, but they were done so that transcript wasn't captured.
Mm.
So I don't know if you can go into that's an interesting idea. I don't know if you can take a 2-hour video and dump it into Chat GPT and say, you know, create me a summary of this. I don't know.
I don't know if ChatGPT. There might be AI models out there that could do video like that. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Not sure.
You know, there was a period when I was actually I rewatched them and tried to capture the main points. But that was very, very time consuming. And
Oh yeah.
I couldn't do it I couldn't be consistent.
Yeah.
And because, you know, and unfortunately, you know, some of the members who are not active now contributed quite a lot of good information. I'm thinking of Dave Anderson. You know, he committed a lot of information to the website that I really wouldn't want to archive because that just makes it one step harder for everybody to get to it. But
yeah,
you know, maybe, you know, you all know you can Google search for DPRG and whatever topic, and it will give you a list of stuff, which is reasonably useful. So anyway, but that's yeah, I don't know. So much good stuff has, you know, I'm not saying, I want to say the density might be low, but the nuggets are really good if you can find them. And that's a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Yeah. So really after the brainstorm, there's just a show and tell, but I don't know if we have much to show and tell. That was more an in-person thing, I guess. But what about y'all? I'm ready for pizza.
Are we still having Airbnb Tuesday?
Yes.
After the freeze? Okay. Yeah. After freeze, thaw out for
After freeze.
All right. Doug,
I'm
you got
not
anything
finding
else?
that file I sent you, Doug.
Yeah. I think we're okay. I think we covered what was on the agenda, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
At least what we could do on virtual. Yep.
yeah, and yeah.
Mark,
Well,
I
this is
take it
me.
you're not.
This is me virtually eating a piece of pizza. It's not as satisfying.
I can attest to that.
Yeah. Okay, Pat. One day you're gonna get a knock on the door.
Yeah.
Mark, are we originally we were going to be doing a board of directors meeting after this call, but I'm assuming there's not enough of us to have one.
We can probably hold off on that until we can get Steve. I don't know
Yeah,
how.
I think we also want to get Paul back. When is he back?
Oh, not for a
Is
few
he
more
going to
weeks.
come back in the century or?
I think he's back in March or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah, it was going to be a couple months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
10 week.
Man, that has got to be a trip of a lifetime.
Yeah. I think he said his last update was in the Maldives. So getting there. But yeah, we can hang out for a little bit, Pat, if you want to talk board stuff.
No, I wasn't sure if we were going to do anything or just postpone it.
We can postpone. Yeah, we'll
Okay.
postpone.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll try and get
Never
Steve
do
on.
today what you can put off for tomorrow.
There you go. All right.
Well, adios then.
I guess with that, yeah.
All right.
Congrats, Doug, for another year of secretary, and welcome.
Thank you.
Pat.
Let me know when we can work on Roby.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mark.
You guys.
All right.